Mahbooba Seraj. She's the director of the Afghan Women's Skills Development Center in Kabul. Thanks so much for speaking to us. We just heard our reporter Hassan say there that women's turnout in this election is expected to be around 30% only. So I have to ask you if you are personally looking forward to voting in this election in spite of the death threats from the Taliban forces and other extremist groups.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for having me again. Well, the whole thing is that we should remember one thing. I don't think this is the election that everybody is actually looking forward, to going and voting. This is the election that is so important for the lives of the Afghan people, especially the women, that we have to go and vote. It's not a question of really looking forward or wanting to. This is not even an election that for us is important who is the winner. As long as the democracy lives, and as long as democracy goes on with this election and the elections afterwards to come, that to us is the win. We really don't care who wins at this point. And as far as, whether they are these, yeah, sorry.
No, do continue.
So that's why it's very important.
Okay,
yeah,
so I mean,
the thing is that, I mean, each one of all of these two contenders are very, they are throwing, accusations at each other, and there is no point in doing that. I hope they realize that. That is not really which one of them wins. The question is that one of them has to win in order to save the democracy in this country. Otherwise, what's the point? Afghanistan is going to become just another one of these these emirates that exist in the world, and God only knows what kind of an emirate this one is going to be. So that's why it's important for us. And we are going to go and vote, and we are going to go, the ones that are, which a big part of us women are going to be the observers. We are going to go and observe, and hopefully at the polling stations. It is very dangerous, we know that, because the Taliban have been giving us ultimatums, and it's not only them, even the contenders, even the ones that they have, are here in the they are running for the presidency. They are doing the same thing. So it's like, but these people, as Afghan people, we have to learn one day that Afghanistan, really the only way we are going to save this country is by us doing the right thing, not by the world telling us what to do. Okay. We have to take care of our own problems, and we have to do it.
But as it stands right now, you only,
this is what the women
right,
of
you only really have this election to, as you say, kind of ensure the democracy. And you're saying this election is kind of the worst.
Absolutely.
It's a bad option. And still going forward, you're looking at a government that is likely going to have to negotiate with the Taliban and somehow bring that extremist group into the fold of the democracy that you want Afghanistan to be. Is there room for an extremist group like the Taliban if Afghanistan is to remain a democracy?
Well, this is where the whole, actually, this is where everything is. This is the heart of the subject. This is what we are supposed to do. Are we willing? Are we going to keep it? Are we going to fight for it? Are we going to keep this democracy in this country alive? Or we are not? Because by giving it to the Taliban, all of them, just telling the Taliban, come and take this country, we are not giving it just to the Taliban. We are giving it to all of these powers like Pakistan to come on over. Why don't you come and run our country? But that's not the way it's supposed to be. We are supposed to be running our country. If we are supposed to be running our country, then there are sacrifices we have to do, and there are some decisions that we have to make, and we have to do it. And this is one of them. I'm not for any particular person. I really, at this point, I don't care who wins, and I don't think a whole lot of the Afghans really do care the same thing. But the only thing that we really want, we would like to have democracy to live.
You would like to have democracy, but it seems the government
of this country to have a future.
Right, but it seems whatever government is elected, their primary focus will be on shoring up security So is your fear that women's rights that you've worked so hard to secure will actually fall by the wayside in order to ensure security in the country first?
No, that's not going to happen, because that's going to be a false security. What kind of a security? You just cripple half of the population of a country and then you call it a secure country? What kind of a country will that be? This is absolutely nonsense. And the world has just been living with these nonsenses. This is one of them. You know, half of the country is crippled, half of the body of a human being is gone, the other half you want to make security? What kind of a security is that? Which security? So the same security that is coming after the women right now is going to be coming after the people of this country, the men as well. So then what they're going to do?
Okay.
Then they're going to say, well, now that because the men are in danger, we are going to be changing it? This is absolutely ridiculous.
Mahbooba Seraj, thank you so much for joining us there from Kabul. Thank you so much for joining us. We greatly appreciate it.
Pray for us. It's going to be a big day for everybody.
Will do. We'll be watching it closely. Thanks so much, Mahbooba.